Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Raji Husni and today we will be talking about entrepreneurship with one of my great friends. I'll let him introduce himself to you guys in just about a second. This is my first video on YouTube, so why don't you introduce yourself to us?
Hello everyone, my name is Abood. I'm 22 years old and I've been barbering for 6 years now.
Okay. So in this video, I'm going to be asking you some questions. So basically, you're not going to know what these questions are. I'm going to hit you with random questions.
Okay.
And if you don't feel comfortable with answering the questions, you can always just say pass or move on, right?
Okay.
And we'll be asking you about your experiences as an entrepreneur and advice you would give to entrepreneurs, okay? So to start, let's start with the first question is, why did you decide to start becoming a barber? What motivated you to start?
Well, in the beginning, it was more of like a hobby.
Okay.
What got me into it was during, I think, winter break.
Okay.
I was just chilling in bed. I was on YouTube and a recommended video came up. It was about like a barber tutorial. I'm like, yo, okay, I'll watch it. So I watch it and then I'm like, it's kind of interesting. So I kept watching more and more videos. I'm like, okay, now I have to try it. So I'm like, I go up to my brother. I'm like, please let me like cut your hair, right?
So he was like kind of like your guinea pig at this moment.
Yeah, he was a sheep, you know.
Okay.
So finally, after like trying to convince him, he finally let me. But before I even like cut his hair, I used to watch tutorials like religiously every single night.
Yeah.
Right after school, before I go to sleep, like subscribing to all these YouTuber barbers,
Mm-hmm.
and every time they would post, I have to watch their videos.
Yeah.
So when it came to actually cutting my brother, like I understood what to do, but obviously knowing something and then building that skill is two different things, right?
100%.
So when I went into cutting my brother the first time, I knew what I was doing, but it obviously didn't turn out right or like that good because it was my first time doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Especially like hands-on things, you have to like build up that skill.
Definitely.
Before you get better at it, you know?
Yeah, they say it takes about maybe like around 1,000 hours to become even just skilled, a little
like
bit
used
skilled.
to it?
Yeah, to even become used to it, right?
Yeah.
It depends on the different whatever you're doing, obviously. But in your case, you had a lot of practice on your brothers, right? You started off with your brothers, and did you have any friends who were starting with you as well?
So in the beginning, like everyone I asked from school, they did not let me. Like they wouldn't trust me, nothing.
No, definitely, because it's very difficult to allow someone to trust you to
exactly.
cut their hair, right? Because a lot of us, like
It's
when
your
we were
appearance.
younger, we cared so much about how our hair looked,
Especially in high school.
especially in high school.
Yeah, you
right?
want to look like the best.
Yeah. How old were you when you decided to start becoming a barber, or even tried to learn?
16.
16. Okay.
Yeah.
And how old are you now?
22.
22.
Yeah.
So what is that? About 6 years?
6 years now.
6 years. That's crazy.
6 years
man.
counting.
Yeah, I remember when I first found out you were a barber. I was like, damn, bro, Abood, that guy's my boy. I never knew he was a barber.
And I've known you since
the
like,
day
how
I
old was
found, yeah, we were like what, like 11, 10 years old.
Not even.
Yeah,
Like
even younger.
JKSK,
JKSK.
yeah. I grew up with you.
Yeah, like 7, 8 years old. That's a long time, bro.
It is a long time.
It's been we've known each other for a long time, and ever since you started, I've always came to you, because I always felt comfortable sitting in your chair, right? Because you built an experience in your chair. That's how I think of barbering as, right?
I'm gonna get like into that later on. How the haircut itself is not everything.
Definitely.
It's a service. It's
Definitely.
like the relationship you build with your clients or your friends.
100%.
So someone can give a better haircut, but they're more comfortable with this certain person.
100%.
So they'll come to you.
100%. For me, I don't even look towards any other barbers, because when I come and sit in your chair, I feel like, this guy, I love this guy. I can talk to him about anything in the chair. He's cutting my hair, he's focused, he's talking to me, he's entertaining me, and you just make me feel overall good when
It's
I leave.
an experience. That you
It definitely is an experience. So it took you, how long would you say it took you to finally start seeing results as a barber when you tried starting? I know like becoming a barber is a new thing because you have to build your clientele.
Yeah.
But in the beginning, like you said, you started off with your siblings, right? How long did it take for you to actually find people to allow you to even give you a chance to cut your hair?
It was so tough in the beginning.
Yeah.
Like I said, like no one would trust me. And then I found one guy in my class. Like for him, it didn't really bother him.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, okay. So every Saturday, I would tell my dad, drop me off at the gym. I want to go play basketball. But I would bring my backpack, and in my backpack, I would have my clippers and my scissors.
Oh,
And
you were on the
my
grind.
parents were against this whole thing.
Yeah.
They didn't want me to do it. They were like, school. They didn't even let me get a job. They didn't let me sign up for the basketball team.
Mhm.
Nothing. They wanted me to focus on my studies.
Definitely.
So I'm like, okay, but I still want to do what I want to do. So every Saturday, my dad would drop me off at the gym, and I would walk to this kid's house. And the first time I cut his hair, bro, like the next day I seen him at school, it was so bad.
Yeah.
But like for him, like I seen him, he got roasted a few times.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, my bad, you know? But at the same time, for him, it was like, whatever, he just put a hat on and then he was good.
He was very kind enough to even give you the opportunity to even try and learn, right?
I appreciate him a lot. Because he helped me, like give me like a canvas to work on, kind of.
Yeah, a lot of the time starting these new things can be very challenging and very fearful, right? A lot of people don't like to take new steps and learn new things, but you decided to take that one step. And now, how would you say your business is going? In the beginning, you said it was very hard to find clients, but then over time, it obviously took time to get to where you are now, right?
Yeah.
About how many years or how many months or however many days did it take for you to start to actually build a clientele?
Until like I was kind of satisfied with my money, probably like 3 years in.
3 years in?
Yeah.
So it became like a little bit of a challenge, right?
It was very tough.
You started working at a barbershop. Was it very slow in the beginning?
There was days I would work for 8-9 hours and I'd walk out with $0.
Yeah.
Because I was working on commission.
No, definitely.
It's not like an hour rate.
Yeah.
So there'd be days where I go in and make $0.
Because you're working as a service, providing service to others, and that's the only way you're getting paid.
The only way you make money is if someone comes to you and then you get a commission off that.
100%.
And there's days you walk out with $20,
yeah.
$40.
No, it's definitely can be difficult in the beginning.
Yeah.
But it's good to see that you've came so far. I even remember now sometimes when I actually go trying to book a haircut on your website, it's very difficult to even get an appointment within a week or 2 weeks, right?
Sometimes you have to wait, yeah.
Yeah, sometimes
you
have to wait.
Book really in advance.
Yeah. What made you want to make it into a career?
Okay. So like I said earlier, my parents, they were really like tough on me for not allowing me to work or play on the basketball team simply because they wanted me to focus on my studies. So even before I started barbering, I was doing a lot of video editing at home. So I'm like, okay, my parents not let me get a job, I'll do something. So when I was doing video editing, I was charging like $20 for a video. But it would take me all week, staying up all night, all day after school, editing, right? And then at the end of the week, I'd be done, $20. For me in high school, that was considered like something.
Yeah.
Because I had no other job.
100%. And building a skill like editing is something that's very, very good for you, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people actually, they grow businesses of editing businesses and freelancing on the side of, they get so good at it so they can do so many small projects or even bigger projects and charge different amounts, showing proof of work of what they actually did, right?
Yeah.
And video editing is a very, very good skill to have. And the way you learned it,
skill too.
100%, 100%.
Nowadays?
Nowadays, it's a very high-paying skill. It's one of the, the thing is, so many people make YouTube channels, so many people make TikToks,
and they hire
Instagrams,
editors.
and they hire editors, right? Now, if you can go and build this skill, you could be making a lot of money, right?
That's another hustle you can get.
Definitely, 100%.
It takes time though.
100%.
The kid that I was talking about earlier, where every week I would walk to his house and cut his hair. Like a month or two in, at the time, I wasn't getting money off him. I wasn't charging no one. I just wanted to like build up the skill, build up clientele. So one day I went and I cut him and his dad. So his dad, he tossed me a 20. And then in my head I'm like, damn, I just made that in 2 hours. And I was making $20 in a week.
Yeah.
So that's when it clicked in, like, there's so many other ways of making, okay, like right now looking at that, it's not a lot of money, right? But at that time.
At a young age?
Yeah, at a young age, seeing that, from getting paid $20 a week to $20 in the 2 hours, for me it was like mind-blowing.
Especially because your parents wouldn't even let you have a job, right?
Exactly.
So like, that kind of money was really good for you.
Yeah. So once I saw that, I got so excited. I went home, I'm like, wow, like now I actually have to take this more seriously. Definitely. Even though I was trying, but no one had the trust in me.
Definitely. So
over time, I was like, one more friend would come, another friend, and I would cut hair anywhere. In the garage, school bathrooms, the park, the gym bathroom, literally anywhere. Yeah. Anywhere where there was like an outlet and a chair, we'll make it work.
No, definitely.
So
you gotta hustle sometimes, right? You
have to.
You gotta, whatever it is, no matter where you are, you just gotta get to it, you know?
Yeah.
Get the chair, get the outlet, plug the machine in, and just start, you know?
Do what you gotta do.
You gotta do what you
gotta start somewhere.
100%.
So in the beginning, I wasn't charging nothing. Then I'm like, okay, no one's paying me now. And my haircut's getting a little bit better, and more people are actually starting to ask me. And then at school, people will be like, yo, it's Abood, you cut my hair, it looks good, blah, blah, blah. So then I'm like, okay, I'll charge $5. Mm-hmm. And taking $5, I would go to them or they would come to me or whatever. But for me at that time, it was like $5, you know? So a year in, I go on Google and I search up barbershops near me, and I'm going through the list, and I found one on the barbershop that I used to work at. I was there for 5 years. I called him. I'm like, hey, like, are you guys hiring? I've been cutting hair for a year, blah, blah, blah. He was like, okay, come in and we'll talk. So I go in, and he was busy cutting a client, but he was like, once I'm done with him, I'll talk to you. So I'm sitting there looking around, I'm like, hey, it's pretty cool. And I see like the price list. It was like $20 a haircut, and then $25 with beard. I'm like, bro, my friends will kill me, you know? But anyways, I talked to him, I talked to the owner, and then I showed him pictures. He was like, yeah, you can come tomorrow, start. And then I talked to him about the price list. He was like, yeah, it's okay, just charge whatever you want.
Yeah.
So he made it pretty easy on me.
Definitely.
So shout out to that guy.
Shout out to him.
Yeah. So yeah, I went there, charged $5, and then $7, and then like 3 months in, I started doing $15, and I was stuck at $15 for a year and a half, and then once I seen that I was getting busier and busier, it was getting harder to book with me.
Yeah.
I was getting better. I jumped to 20, and then 25.
Yeah, you got to know your worth,
Exactly.
especially in these kind of businesses,
Exactly.
because you want to take as many clients as you possibly can without losing as much money as possible, right?
Exactly.
And sometimes the clients, they get a little bit angry or fed up because they can't get into their spots or the price is going up, right? But at the same time, it's like you have to know your worth, where you're offering a service and you need to get paid for your service, right? And if you feel like you're undercharging,
It's like knowing your worth.
you got to know your worth.
Exactly.
100%. So you got to know exactly how to do it, and like that's great how you've seen, like when you were at 5 to 7 to 15, then 15 you're like, you know what, bro, I need to make a little bit more money, and you know I am busy enough that I can change my price a little bit, and you're willing to accept the risk of losing a little bit of people, which is okay, because sometimes we forget about how life works, right? Over time, everything gets more expensive. It's all about inflation, and like your haircut gets more expensive. My dinner on the table that I have to eat, or the gas
gets more expensive.
Groceries, everything gets a lot more expensive over time, right?
Especially since COVID.
100%. Yeah. In COVID, after COVID, everything just started going all the way up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Another question I'd like to ask you is, what's a tip you would give to young entrepreneurs in any field? What's something you would tell someone if they came to you right now telling you, hey bro, you know what? I really want to start doing this, but I don't know where to start or how to do it. What's something you would tell them?
Knowledge. Like, you do your research. Research 100%. Is free.
Yeah.
If you're really serious about it, you put in the work, you put in the time. Don't listen to people if they're doubting you. Like, for example, my parents were saying, no, don't do this. But I kept doing it, right?
Yeah.
So don't listen to the world. If you want to do something that you want to do, you push through and do it.
100%. Research today is almost free, man.
It's all free.
We have the internet
YouTube,
in our
Google,
fingertips.
everything,
Yeah, we can watch videos. We can go to the library, read books if you can't buy them. Go to the Goodwill or any thrift store, and
it's all in front of us.
It's all in front of
us.
us.
Go find it.
We just gotta go and actually devote time and research and energy into this kind of stuff, right? And that's what I feel like a lot of people are lacking. A lot of people want to build a business, but they don't want to have the work of building the business. Yeah, they don't have the work ethic to go and actually start their business, right? Yeah. They see it as like, hey, you know what? I actually want this business, but I don't want to have to work for it. I just want everything given to me, kind of. Yep. Right, and that's not really how it works. Like in your situation, I personally learned a lot from you, because I seen you when you were working, making little money, but you were still there. Number one thing you got to do is just be there all the time.
That's my next point.
Yeah, you always got to be there and work hard.
So you know the phrase "work smart, not hard." In my opinion, that's not entirely true. I feel like in the beginning, you have to work hard in order to get to that step where you can work smart.
Because you got to prove yourself with
exactly.
worthiness.
So, like, for an example, when I was charging $20, I was working hard. All right, I couldn't work smart at that time. Now I charge $40. I cut less people, but now I'm making either the same, if not more. And now I can work smart because I put in the years before, the last 4 years, 5 years. I worked hard, and now I can work smart.
Definitely. Those are some great points and some great things that I feel like a lot of people are like negligent towards, right? But something that I agree to disagree with you on is that how you said work smart, not hard. Work hard, not smart. It depends on the situation.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, that's fair.
And if you're already making the big bucks, you're making good money. Working smarter instead of working harder is like
Yeah.
ideal for you, right?
Yeah, yeah.
It's all about what's ideal in your situation. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that, right? Because not everybody can just work smart and not hard, right?
That's
Some
true.
people have that hustle where they need to be doing something and feel like they're actually working for what they're going for.
That's true.
Right?
Yeah.
And like the thing is, a lot of people are these days. We see it a lot in a lot of people that they don't want to work as hard. They feel like they need to make money online, only online, or they feel like, you know what,
Crypto
stocks, fast money.
Yeah.
Here's something
You can't
like
get
an
rich
advice
overnight.
I gives you. Fast money is like not good for you because why? Because when you get fast money, you spend it fast. You didn't build.
You don't
You didn't
appreciate
learn. Yes, you
the
don't
hard work you
appreciate
put
the
in.
hard work you put in.
Yeah,
You didn't learn how to make that money. It almost just like spawned into your account,
exactly.
right? Okay, so going to another question is, what is a tip that you were given by somebody else, like a motivation, any kind of tip that someone told you something that stuck with you till today?
The owner of the barbershop that I worked at for the last 5 years, he always told me, actually he told me this once, but it stuck in my head till today. He's like, whether you do good or bad, people will talk. So do whatever you want. Like
Yeah.
do what's best for you.
You gotta just
Like
not
forget
care.
what people say,
Yeah,
because if you do good, people will talk bad. If you do
100%.
bad, people still talk bad.
Yeah.
So you might as well do what's best for you.
Yep. This is something that I struggle a lot with, and I am getting better with it, which is the feeling of being scared of what others think, right?
Yeah.
One thing I actually just recently
NPCs?
implemented. Yeah, literally. These people are, that's how I think about it as.
Yeah.
These people who are being negative toward me or telling me stuff like that, they're just NPCs, bro. They're just in my life just for no reason, right? Thing is, like, I realized, hey man, if you really want to get somewhere and you want to learn something, you literally have to not care about what anyone's saying. Because here's the thing, I watch so many videos and so many TikToks and so many Reels, Instagram, YouTube Shorts, everywhere, right? I see the same common message, right? You could go somewhere and literally in a public place and just start singing your heart out, okay? In 5
They'll never
minutes,
see you again.
they will never see you again.
Yeah.
In 10 minutes, they'll forget you even existed. So what's the point of caring about what they said? Life is too short to think about what others are thinking.
Yeah.
Right? And that's something that I struggle a lot with. But recently I've been actually trying to implement things that scare me and get out of me, right? To make them not to break my fears of being afraid of all these things, of people's thoughts, a lot of things like what people think of me, how they talk to me, or how they look at me. All these things, I realize, you know what, no matter, like you said, no matter what, these people are always going to be speaking bad or good, it doesn't matter, but they're always going to talk their own thing.
If you're doing good or bad, they will still speak about you.
Yes.
Yeah.
To them, it's just they need something to talk about.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
People love to talk.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. Okay, so going on another question is, what would you say your biggest achievement that you've gotten in entrepreneurship so far?
Biggest achievement?
Yeah. Something that you are so proud of that you achieved.
I don't think I reached that point yet.
You don't think you reached that
No.
point? You gotta always stay hungry, you know?
Always,
Even for me, I don't even think I reached that point either, right? I'm always hungry for more learning and getting knowledge about something new, starting new things, like starting this new YouTube channel.
Exactly, yeah.
And all these things, right? I even started to make a short form content about a week and a half ago. And
Yeah, I've been seeing your TikToks. Like, they've been
yeah,
doing well. And I've
doing-
seen progress too. In the beginning, you were a bit like
I was a lot
fully
more
into it.
Yeah, a
and
lot
now
more
you're more
scared.
enthusiastic when you're
100%.
recording.
100%. Because I'm trying to break that fear of
Exactly.
thinking of what people think about me, right? And once I actually got
That's
that out
also
of my
another
head,
skill too.
yeah,
Like in the beginning, you're gonna struggle with that skill, and then with practice and putting in those reps,
definitely.
you will like get more comfortable
Definitely.
and get better at it.
When I got that feeling of people are gonna talk, people are gonna think of me, whatever, I just got that in my head. I realized, bro,
Yeah.
I could literally pick up my phone right now, go in the middle of a library, yo, hey, what's up, guys? Back at another video, anything like that, right? I don't care anymore because you guys say, yeah, they're gonna laugh, okay? But at the end of the day, I'm so motivated into building something new and big and strong. Whatever it is for me, it's gonna. I'm trying to change my life here, and these guys are not gonna be in my life forever, right? They're a
100%.
temporary moment in my life, right? So that's how I think of it as. And like you said, I don't think I've even gotten to my peak, but I feel like when I do reach my peak, when I peak the mountain that I've been climbing for a long time, a quote that I heard was, when you feel like you've reached the high part of the mountain, you gotta look for a bigger mountain
Big
to
amounts
climb.
climb. That's
Yeah.
true. 100%.
Yeah.
Because in life, like, you will always be a student in life.
Definitely. We were born a student and we will die a student.
Yep.
We don't know anything. The world's knowledge and everything, what God has given to us, we don't even know what 0.00000 to the infinity of one.
Yeah.
Right?
100%.
That's crazy. No matter how much we we learn,
yeah,
the number will always be so insignificant to watch how much we don't know.
I saw this one thing on TikTok. It was like, what did it say? It was the most shameless thing is not knowing your full potential
100%
in life.
100%. Because
you never know until you actually go and try.
Yeah, you could go your whole life
yeah.
and be scared of doing something and not actually going after it and trying it.
Yeah.
And at your old age, you're dying, or you're in your deathbed, or you get really old. You're like 50, 60, 70 years old. However old you get, the biggest thing a lot of people they regret is not taking that risk of the thing they wanted to do.
Yeah.
Right, and that's something I don't want to have.
Exactly. For example, I was at the barber shop for 5 years, and I recently switched over to this new one, and I saw potential of like growth there, right? And the risk that was taken there was either maybe losing clientele, or and the thing is, like, the guys I worked with, they were like family to me.
100%.
So that was a risk of like cutting that off, but I'm like, yeah, I don't want to keep going to sleep every night. What if I could have been there if I switched over?
Yeah.
So I took the risk, and
you always got to take risks in life. And if anything happens, it didn't work out at this new barbershop, you can always go back to the other barbershop, right? Or you can always find a new barbershop after that, you know? Life is all about taking these risks and growing and learning.
And when you take these risks, you learn so much. Like, I've been there for 3 weeks now, and I've already learned so much about myself. Not even about the business. Just about what I like, what I don't like.
Definitely. You grow a lot as a person when you decide to take more risks.
For change. Yeah. Change is always good.
Change is always like something you should be seeking. You should be
100%.
seeking knowledge and change. Those are two big things.
And don't stay comfortable.
100%. You always got to be on your tiptoes, right? You got to always be chasing new things in life, new things that scare you, right? A very good YouTube channel that I actually really like watching is Seek Discomfort. These guys, they always talk about the feeling of chasing something that you're scared of, or moving on and try to be as discomforted as possible, right? Because if you stay comfortable your whole life, your only thing is gonna happen. You're gonna have a normal life. You're gonna grow up.
The slope looks
literally, yeah. It's gonna go up like this, and then it's gonna stop, and then it's gonna go down like this. You're not gonna be able to retire early, or you're not even forget retiring early. Some people don't even make it to retirement because they made the wrong mistakes, right? They didn't take that new risk. Yeah, they didn't take that new risk, and they stayed the same place their whole life, right? So that's something that scares me to death, and that's something I don't want to be in. So I always tell myself, like, hey, yo, listen. Take that risk. If it doesn't work out, who cares, bro? Start it again. Do another thing. You have a million things on your head. Choose one of them and tackle it today.
100%.
You know?
Yeah.
Another question I have for you is, what do you think the purpose of life is?
Purpose of life? Honestly, that's a tough question.
Yeah.
I feel like in your early 20s or mid 20s or even late 20s, like, that's like the range you're very confused in life.
Yeah.
You don't know what's best for you. You don't know what you're chasing. You may think what you're chasing is what's best for you, but really it's not. But purpose in life is be a good person, stay around family, and like, for me, I believe in the next life. So
yeah. So you gotta take care of your religion. Be good. Be for me and you, we're both Muslim, right?
Yeah.
We have to take care of our religion. We gotta pray our 5 daily prayers. You know, we have our holy book that we read, the Quran. You know, we have the Friday prayer that we should always try to attend as much as we possibly can. You know, I feel like these things, and seeking knowledge and trying to grow as a person, that's what I feel like the ultimate purpose of life is.
Yeah. And like, when you think about the next life, it's like when something bad happens in this life, it's like, okay, it's temporary.
100%.
So, I mean, like, we all make mistakes. I try to be as best as I can, but obviously I try to strive for the next life more than this life.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. What is a daily habit you believe everyone should develop?
A morning routine, or just having a schedule for the day. Like, before you go to sleep, on your phone, go on notes and put in like 8 a.m. this, 9 a.m. that, 10 a.m. whatever. Yeah. And then have your schedule set up for the whole day. And yeah.
something that helped me actually grow and learn a lot more and become more successful and see more success in my days is actually something I'm very on and off with it, but I'm actually just still trying to get back into it.
What is it?
Every day before I used to sleep, I used to take my notebook. I have a notebook on my desk. I take it and I write 3 things I want to achieve in the morning, 3 things in the afternoon, and 3 things before I sleep. So in total I have 9 goals for the day, right?
Okay, so those 3 things could be like school or gym or
it could be
like
whatever you want.
Okay.
Something that you want to achieve. So an example I'd be doing is sometimes I wake up and I leave my house without maybe doing my bed, But something I learned is you have to do the small simple things in life to get pleasure and build up to the harder, more things that seem impossible to you, right? So like making your bed every morning, it doesn't seem like something that's, oh man, that's so crazy, I can't do that. No, it seems like so simple, right?
Yeah.
But then the next goal is like, what? I wake up, on average about like 6 a.m., 7 a.m., depending on the day, obviously. Mostly weekdays, it's like 5:30 to 6 a.m. But I like to go in the gym in the morning, right? Recently I haven't been going to the gym because I've just gotten lazy. But most of the time when I do go to the gym, it's either really early in the morning or super late at night. It's just because of the way my schedule works.
Yeah, everybody has like different scenarios.
Yeah, but I found the most I was actually achieving and the best time of my life I had was when I was waking up really early, doing my bed. That was my first goal. Second goal was, go to the gym and come back to before I go to school, get a healthy meal in, and then start my day off like that.
So what time is it by the time you're back home?
So usually I take around maybe like 1 hour, sometimes like 2 hours, depending on what kind of workout it was and how intense I was going.
Yeah.
And the gym I go to is about maybe like not even 5-6 minutes away from my home, right? So it's very close to me, and I can even take my bike there to skip cardio sometimes. I did that a couple times, but then I realized like I just get really tired before school, and I don't have enough time to like make a full meal before school. So I have to kind of take the sacrifices in life, right? Small sacrifices for the greater good. But those 2 things, start off my day with those. The third thing I would do for my morning goals was, before going to lecture, make sure you read the previous lecture's notes, or if the teacher uploaded the new notes, read the notes, right?
So by the time you've done all that, it's like what, 8 a.m., 9 a.m.?
8 a.m., 9 a.m.,
So look at what you've accomplished.
Exactly.
Since like 5:30 or 6 in the morning.
Yeah.
And till
people
9,
are still
right?
sleeping at 9.
You already did all that, and these guys are just waking up.
Yeah.
So you're already ahead of the world doing that.
And these goals can.
And that's like one thing I want to start doing is waking up earlier.
100%. You will really see the difference.
Awesome.
What are some sources you recommend people should check out? Like you can be like books, websites, YouTube channels. Something you recommend for people to better themselves into getting into a field like you.
Like specific
specific to barbering. What do you think is the best way to actually go and learn?
So there are a few books on barbering, but I'm gonna be honest, I don't like to read like books. I find them boring, but I never really tried it out because I know a few guys that they hated reading, just like how I did.
Yeah, me too. I used to be atrocious with reading.
Yeah, and now you love doing it.
I hated reading, and now I love reading.
Yeah.
I read about maybe sometimes like a book or 2 a month. I'm trying to get more onto that. I'm trying to read about 1 a week. But I'm trying to get there slowly, right?
Yeah. So I feel like if I try, maybe I'll start to like it. But for barbering, I would say YouTube videos in the beginning, like kind of understand how like the system works and all that, and then you have no choice but to like physically actually try it.
Definitely.
And put yourself in a good environment.
Definitely. What is something you wish you had learned earlier in life?
Take more risks.
Definitely.
Yeah. And start young.
Definitely.
Because right now, the reason why I work so hard at a young age is because I don't want to worry about financial when I'm later in my life. Like when I'm later married and I have a family and all that, I want to actually spend quality time with them rather than being at the shop till like 8 p.m. So right now I don't mind it because I'm by myself, it's whatever.
You're still growing and learning as an individual.
So I feel like later down the road, once like, inshallah, if I have a family and all that, I can work a little bit less, and whatever I did in my previous years would help me for the future, so I can spend time seeing my kids grow up and all that.
Definitely. All right, well, it's been a pleasure talking to you and learning from your experiences and having you on this video. I really appreciate you for coming here and actually agreeing to be my first person. I you know, like when I thought of, you know, I thought of an entrepreneur, the first person that came to mind was you, because you started when you were young and you're still keep going at it, right? And you've been doing this for 6 years, and all the things you do just motivate me to want to become better myself too.
Same with you, bro. Like I see all the hard work and the different jobs you're doing at the same time.
Yeah.
It's like, am I working hard enough? You know, so it pushes me, it pushes you.
Yeah, for me, thing is, I work a lot, and I also do a lot of research, and I read a lot, and I go to school full time too, right? So sometimes I make sacrifices in places that I shouldn't be making sacrifices in. Like sometimes I take like a little bit of a sacrifice in school, which is not the greatest idea. But you know, I'm still learning. I'm what, 22 years old. I still got a long way ahead of me. I'm in the eyes of myself, I'm still a young individual who has a lot to learn, and it is 100% okay if I fail right.
100%. You're still young.
Yeah.
I'm gonna flip this question on you though.
What's up?
What's some advice you give me?
For you, in your case, I would like to see you probably try to read more. I know you said you don't like reading, okay? But let me tell you something. If you don't like reading, bro, you like listening to music, or you like listening to stuff, right? When you're working, driving, whatever you're doing, try listening to audiobooks. If you can't read, listen to books, because the knowledge you will get from books is much more greater than you will from anywhere else. Because look, think of it like this, right? People write autobiographies about people, and they learn about people's lives, right? What happens when you learn about someone's life? You learn about mistakes they made and their experiences. Now, you will never be able to know these experiences if you don't read about them or you don't hear about them, right? So that's why I love books so much, because there's so many different books with so many ideas. Even some of them have the similar idea, but it's a different person's perspective on that idea itself.
So it opens your mind to more.
It opens your mind to so much more.
Has there been a book that like you learned from his experience that stopped you from making a mistake? Or
this is gonna sound very, 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 very cliche. It's like everybody talks about it all the time.
Rich Dad Poor Dad?
Rich Dad Poor Dad. It's definitely, it's not my favorite book, but it is a very good book. That was probably, when I read that book, I just became so much more motivated to actually start and grow and become better as a person, you know? Because I learned so many stories from the book, because in the beginning of the book, he talks about how he had two dads, basically. His best friend's father, who he saw as the rich dad, and his actual father, right? I'm not going to go ahead and ruin the book, because I want you to actually listen to it.
When you did tell me about it, I watched a few YouTube videos on it.
Yeah.
And I already learned like so much from like what, because he does videos as well.
Yeah, he does a lot of videos. Yeah. Robert Kiyosaki is a very great author and a very good. He has like a show. Channel. He's a YouTube channel, I'm pretty sure. Anything he has. Anyways, it's been a great pleasure having you on the show. Thank you for spending time with me today.
Thank you for having me here, man.
I'll leave your socials in the description of the video.
Check him out.
Check him out on the bottom. You know, follow him on. He has a TikTok, and he has a Instagram. Check him out. Check out his work. Thank you, guys.
Bye.